Sean Duffy is my guest this morning. Thanks for being here. Well, it certainly takes a lumberjack to bring the wood. Why
Good morning, Elisabeth.
Good morning. So where's the fair debate when it comes to Obamacare, and why is the liberal media standing in the way of
First of all, I don't think it's been fair. Mainstream media hasn't been willing to actually report the last offer that we've made to the administration before the government shut down. All we had asked the president to do is, one, fully fund the government. Number two, have the president, Jay Carney, and the whole administration go into Obamacare like members of Congress and the rest of America. But the last thing we asked for is to treat the American families the same way as big businesses in regard to taxes and penalties in Obamacare. And when you push back on the liberal media saying, isn't that reasonable? They don't have an answer for it. Elisabeth, I don't know if you know, Jon Stewart at Comedy Central was the first one to ask not even a tough question, a question to the administration about why they won't join us in some reasonable proposals. And Kathleen Sebelius, the Secretary of Health and Human Services, couldn't answer their question. They're just not used to getting asked any tough questions in regard to this current debate on the shutdown.
Right. No, certainly not. And on Tuesday, there was an hour-long conference where the president spoke and answered questions, but none from TV reporters, and no questions were asked about Obamacare. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think the president is taking softball questions. I mean, you look at the Huffington Post asking easy questions to the president. He doesn't want to be asked the hard questions like, why won't you join Obamacare? Why isn't your wife at the computer signing up like other Americans trying to get onto the website? Because they don't have a good answer for that. So they want to skirt around the tough questions and the reasonable proposals from our side of the aisle and get easy questions that tee them up to sell their story. But I don't think that can last very long. You're starting to see the liberal media crack and tell some of these stories. Wolf Blitzer was actually out saying maybe the Republicans were right. Maybe there should have been a one-year delay after we've seen how poorly Obamacare has been rolled out. It might have been pretty wise on behalf of the administration to take a one-year delay and get all the kinks worked out.
I mean, we've been told we're asking the wrong questions when someone asked the question. Yesterday, Jay Carney didn't want to answer the question when it came to the death penalty and payments to those that have fallen in the line of service. How do we get answers then, Congressman?
Well, it's challenging. I think bringing out the question is important. But right there, that was a great example of the administration playing politics with a shutdown and causing some pain on the families of our fallen heroes. But that's not new for this administration. You've seen they've walled off, gated off the World War II museum. It's an open-air museum making sure our World War II vets, probably their last time coming to Washington, D.C., they can't access the memorial that was erected on their behalf and in their honor just to cause political pain. And this is petty. Look back, Elisabeth, remember when sequester came into effect? Remember the president shut down the White House so kids who had gone through bake sales, raising money to go see the People's House, these young kids in America couldn't see it because the president wanted to make a political point. And I think that's what's so sad about petty politics and trying to inflict pain on Americans that should be left out of this debate and can be left out of the debate. The president's trying to use them as pawns to make points.
Congressman Sean Duffy. I call you Duffy, by the way. We thank you for being with us.